Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Dax, and today we are coming to you with a really different video. As today we are starting with week 4 of our Respawn Recruit video, where we've been challenged to basically give a story of our content creation, what inspired us, and how we got to where we are now. So, without further ado, pretty much how I started everything was back in 2012, my freshman year of college, and a lot of things were going on. And for me, I ended up starting out with a group that were playing a game, a very obscure game at the time, and that game was called League of Legends. And so eventually, at some point during that career in college, I ended up getting a computer and started doing Twitch streams on solely that game. I was super obsessed with that game, played it in and out, made many clips on that game, and just had a ton of fun with it. I was super obsessed with the esports side of it, and it was just a lot of fun. And after League of Legends, for me, I kept playing that game probably from 2012 to probably about 2014, just pretty consistently until another obscure game came out, and I actually got into the closed beta for it, which was called Smite. And once Smite came out, that game completely took over everything for me. That game was the whole esports side of it was so much for me. I was very close to actually becoming a professional in that game, but unfortunately it did not work out that way. And a lot of things happened between 2014 to when I started picking back up streaming again. So I eventually ended up leaving Smite at some point, probably around 2015. Stopped playing, stopped recording. I actually ended up stopped content creation altogether because a lot of life things pretty much happened. And then for me, really picking up content creation again didn't happen until probably 2018. 2018 was probably the year where I started content creation again, got back into it heavy, but for me this time it was solely on mobile games. I played a game called Vainglory, started a team called Team Outfox where we got competitive in the game, played it hard, and were really good at the game and went quite a distance in it. And I actually made YouTube videos on it and got kind of popular on it, but the game itself ended up dying when I went to another game called Arena of Valor, another mobile game. And do note, throughout this whole entire content creation with the mobile games, I was solely recording off a phone, solely recording, editing through a phone. I didn't have a laptop at the time because the laptop I had back in 2012 was outdated. Nothing worked like it was like it did now. Nothing worked like it does now for me, like it did back then, because it was so outdated. So at this point, I'm solely doing everything from a phone, editing, cropping, making thumbnails, recording. It was solely through that, going on Discord, through my phone with friends, making content on it. And that's pretty much what happened with that. And then in 2019 to mid 2020, my daughter was born just the year prior. And so I kind of took a step back from content creation really to focus on that. I took a break due to that, due to COVID, due to several other things. Between 2019 and 2020, I really stopped all content creation altogether once again. And that was, there was a downside to it of the fact that I wanted to do content creation, but I know I wanted to be there for the early years of my daughter, so I didn't want to solely focus on that stuff. I wanted to be there for her, help take care of her, help my daughter's mother to be able to take care of her and everything like that. That's solely what I needed to be there for at that point. Then come mid 2020, I was able to finally get myself a desktop, get myself everything I needed to do to make content again, and I ended up picking up a game called Valorant. Now I know a lot of people know Valorant. For me, this is solely Twitch streaming with Valorant. I Twitch stream with Valorant so much, was super obsessed with the esports side of it. Once again, as you can tell, I'm a very competitive guy. Like for me, my background comes football, and then I end up getting into video game competitiveness. So I started playing Valorant. Valorant came along, and I got obsessed with it. Got obsessed with 100 Thieves. But they're not. Nobody's looking at Bang, and he's not able to take him. Bang just absolutely goes off, and Bang with the 4-piece. Wanted to be part of 100 Thieves. Never was good enough to get there. And with that, I was also so new to the content creation that we know now of. You need to be posting clips here, you need to be doing YouTube videos, you need to be doing TikToks. I wasn't doing that stuff in 2020. Then 2021 came around, and I was focused on Apex Legends, I was focused on Valorant, and I was focused on all of those, doing multiple different games. And I started focusing on posting Twitch and Twitter and TikToks and Instagram reels, and I actually started to get some type of traction. That's actually really where I started to take off on the YouTube space, was posting shorts on there and getting traction from there. But then 2021 came and gone. 2022 came, and in 2022 it was a big thing for me because I completely switched the content I was making. I stopped Twitch streams for a while and solely focused on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok as my main three. I figured, okay, let me step back from Twitch because I'm not getting anywhere. I'm sitting here streaming to 1 to 2 people for about a year and a half, not getting anywhere. I got affiliate, but I still didn't feel like I was doing anything. So I stepped back and solely focused on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. And I ended up doing anime reactions where I watched an anime, I would cut it down, crop it, but I would solely focus on the funny parts of those animes, or the parts where I talked, and clip in those and still show a little bit of the actual anime itself, but really focus on the funny parts of it and my commentary of it, and get myself used to doing that type of stuff. And 2022 is probably the biggest boom I had because that stuff clicked with people. They watched anime, and a lot of people were doing it, but it seemed to click with them. So I grew really rapidly on that. But then I started to really get to thinking about it throughout the year of 2022. I did it for 2023 and 2024. I still did anime reactions for a solid 2.5 years. And it was really where my boom happened on YouTube, and I got over 1,000 subscribers, and I just kept going and growing and getting bigger, and it was phenomenal. But the biggest thing that really occurred there is around 2024, I kind of sat back and looked at it, and I'm like, something bad can happen from this. I could get copywritten. I could lose everything I have. And so around mid 2024, I decided, it was actually May of 2024, I decided to switch from doing anime reactions and solely focus on doing anime games, specifically Dragon Ball content, which is actually mostly what you'll see on my YouTube channel now. On Twitch, I'm more all over the place, but I really didn't pick back up Twitch streaming until probably December of 2024 to January of this year. But for me, it was on YouTube. I was focused on doing anime content, doing Dragon Ball Z games, only games. Wasn't reacting to videos on Dragon Ball, and I just solely focused on the video game part of them and getting those games shown. That way I could prepare for a game coming out called Sparking Zero. And once Sparking Zero came out in October 2024, I probably had the biggest growth spurt I've ever had on YouTube, where I gained 300 subs that month. I got a 34,000 view video. It was huge that month, and then from there on, I've just been growing ever since till now. And throughout doing Respawn here in 2025, I've kind of realized that I kind of want to branch out. I want to be more variety. I want to do more other things, between collabing with people and talking with people. I've realized I feel like the horror games have been a lot of fun for me to play, and it's not something I ever thought I'd want to make content on, but they're a lot of fun, adrenaline rushing to me to actually play. So, nope. Good Christ. That's where I'm at in my content creation at this point, is here in 2025. I have realized throughout this whole entire Respawn everything that I think I want to switch a lot of my content over to variety. So that's been pretty much my whole entire content creation journey so far. With that being said, let's get into my actual inspirations. What inspired me to do the content I did. So when it comes to the actual content I chose to do back in 2020, back in 2012, League of Legends, that's just what all my friends were playing. It's the reason I played it, and I had fun watching the esports aspect of it. Then with Valorant, Apex, anytime I made content on those, there wasn't actually a single creator that got me into that type of stuff. It was solely that, watching the content back in 2012, it's watching TSM play in League of Legends and them being one of the best NA teams around, and then coming back into 2020, getting back in kind of to the esports scene, becoming a fan of 100 Thieves, watching them play. They were my inspirations for that stuff. But when it comes to actual like anime reactions, I didn't actually have anyone who did that got me into it as much. As for me, anime reactions was just something I thought I could click with people on that would enjoy it, that would enjoy watching my reactions, and I could see how they felt about a certain part of the episode that we were watching, and I could just click with people on that. And then come making Dragon Ball content, there are a number of people who I've watched ever since I was a kid just growing up 2012 on, that I watched on the side, never thought about making content on it, which were like C Reacts, Rhyme Style, Afro Sinju, all big content creators in the Dragon Ball space that really inspired me to want to be better and want to do the kind of content they do and be as funny and as clicky as they are. And so those were really three of my big inspirations when it comes to making any of the videos I make currently that is Dragon Ball related. But getting back to the reason a person or I got into actual content creation is back in 2012, it was solely to make friends. I wasn't a sole person who would go out and make friends. I was more of a homebody, and I figured if I could make friends through a game that we collectively like together, we could be friends. And there were several people who I made friends with on TeamSpeak back then that were huge, that I don't talk to anymore, but we talked a lot back then. And then coming into 2020, when I decided to repick back up streaming on Valorant and Apex, it was the same thing, wanting to make friends, wanting to do this, wanting to click with the people who enjoyed the esports aspects of these games like I did and get a bond over that as much as I did. So with all that said, it brings us here to 2025, where I am still just solely doing this just to make friends. And that's reason for starting this Respawn Recruits fun, is actually to be able to get with people who have the same like mind and have stuff. Sure, at the end of the day, would a paycheck be nice? Would it be great to make this my full-time job? Absolutely. But at the moment, it's here. I don't expect anything huge from it. If it comes, it comes. That's great. But for me at this point in time, it is to just enjoy playing video games with people who also enjoy playing video games, and we can relate on that level. So that's what I'm here for. Again, I thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed hearing about my content creation journey. Hope y'all have a good one. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.